Good evening, friends. I would like to introduce myself this evening as the Green Heart. Hello. I'm not sure if all of you know me. I'm sure that there's lots that don't. Some probably I'm familiar face, but yeah, my name is Julie Steves, and I've been a friend of Billy's for quite a long time, like I said, 10, 12 years. And I feel like I have had this stirring of my soul for quite a long time, and not really sure where to take it, who to tell it to, what to even do with it. And over the past year, I have learned so many things about myself and so much exponential growth that's been going on, and just the state of the world has caused a lot of us to sit back and reevaluate our choices in life and where we are, what we're going to do with the rest of it. And I really feel like I want to come on this journey with change and just start doing exactly that, being the change that I want to see in the world. I think it's amazing what this group is doing and what they continue to do and what will happen in the future. And I just felt like I couldn't say no to the opportunity when I was asked to come on board. And so a little bit about me. I don't even know where to start. I've been thinking about this for days. What do I say? Am I going to be too weird? But you know what? I want to embrace the weirdness. I'm at the point in my life where I feel like weirdness is a huge asset. So if you feel that way, embrace the weirdness. Yeah. So anyways, enough of that. So why am I the Green Heart? Well, I grew up in rural New Brunswick. My father was a forest ranger for 18 years. And so while I was growing up, it was like, go to the forest all the time. Check this out, do some work there, learn this. And I never really knew at the time, but the forest was about to introduce me to a new planet that I could just escape to and connect with and just be at one with. And I have done quite a long service in the military. I'm on my way out right now, which I'm really mixed about, because obviously I've been around for a while and feel like there's parts of me that sort of wish that I was gonna do a whole career, and parts of me are just saying, go now and do the other things that you need to do. This is the time. So in that journey of just kind of figuring out what I want to do with the rest of my life, I became saved by the forest again. And that was last year. I was at my really worst points, and a lot of us were, with COVID and all that kind of stuff and the restrictions that were put on us. And I am so blessed that Algonquin Park is in my backyard here, and I took the kids every weekend and we went and just bathed in the beauty of what it has to offer there. And I just felt such a solace in my soul again. And I felt so connected to things that I had forgotten about for so long. And after that, I just kept going. I kept answering the call, and my kids became obsessed, and I was addicted to the forest. And that was something that was really beautiful to me. And I just started craving going out there and learning more and more about what it really is to stand in a forest and feel all the things. A lot of us are empaths in this group, I am sure. Lots of people have different interpretations of what that means. Lots of people kind of just don't understand too. But for those of us who do understand, everywhere you go is like a feeling. There's just constantly vibes coming off of everything, and it can get a little overwhelming sometimes, but it can also be so beautiful and connect you to something bigger than yourself. And that's exactly what happened. I had dealt with a lifetime of really bad coping mechanisms, like drinking was a really big problem for me, and I am almost 1 year sober, and I'm super excited about that. And I really think that the forest was a big part of that. And so my husband and I started doing some mushroom hunting last year, and that was a really fun activity for the family, for us to get out and do something that connected my husband and me and the kids to his roots. Mushroom hunting is quite a big pastime where he's from, and it just started out that way. And the more and more we started studying about the mushrooms and their relationships with different trees and things like that, actually propelled this kind of spiritual journey that I've been on for quite a while now. And it was almost like a big metaphor for life, these mushrooms, because they have connections underground, and what we call that is mycelial connections. They're veins that literally span kilometers and kilometers of the forest. And these are little white, veiny looking things, and that's what sprouts a mushroom. And these mycelium, they actually do connect to trees, and the trees have a relationship with mushrooms and other species in the forest. And when one of those connections with the mycelium dies, this can trigger some big trouble for the forest. And I thought, wow, what a concept. These tiny little white mycelium are just spreading everywhere, all over the forest, unseen, unheard. But without them, you can get into some pretty big trouble, because they are so deeply rooted within what Suzanne Simard calls the wood wide web. She is a fantastic woman. She is a professor at the University of British Columbia, and she started a project called the Mother Tree, and it basically talks about those relationships, those mycelial relationships with species in the forest, and how trees speak to each other from their mycelial connections, and how the trees actually know their own families. And those big mother trees are the guardians of all the smaller trees in the forest, and know when they're sick, when they're hungry, when they're not getting enough nutrients. These trees will go through the mycelial networks and feed the other trees that are their kin. And I think that that's just magical. And so this kind of concept really threw me into this literal kind of journey on finding that mycelial connection between humans and animals and plants. And yeah, we're not connected to mycelium, but we kind of are without even being connected, because without the forest we can't breathe, we can't live in timber homes, we can't look at the beauty, obviously. There's so many things that are connected with that concept. And I just felt that at such a spiritual level, which really started to get me involved in indigenous activism, researching what kind of problems they're having, more in depth about their history, where they've come from, what they've done, what has been done to them, and just incredible journey in such a small amount of time. And I want to share that with the world. And I have been feeling that feeling, like I said, just deep down in my gut, like, you need to do something about this. You need to reach as many people as you can, and you need to get them connected with the forest, because they can get really saved too. It's almost like a religious movement, you know, like Jesus saves and trees save too. It's kind of strange. Some people are like, okay, well, that's kind of weird, but it's so true. I mean, I don't know if you've ever hugged a tree, but there is something that definitely goes on when you do that. You just feel so connected with something, and it's amazing. So, I was feeling that feeling. I was kind of just doing my own thing. I was taking this inward journey and learning who I am through sobriety, and connecting myself, deeply connecting myself with nature. And I just wanted more and more and more. And then, fast forward a little while, my husband and I purchased a quite large property this fall, and I now have a piece of the forest, and that to me is the most beautiful thing and most wonderful gift that I could give myself and my family, because now we are land protectors, and we are out there making a difference for the small little forest that we manage. It's really huge for the rest of the area around it. When you nurture and love the beings around you, things grow exponentially. You know, when you cut down a certain tree that's shading another one that needs to grow, this is kind of like a symbol of the circle of life. Sometimes things need to die for other things to be beautiful, or to even survive at all. And there's just so many metaphors that I can come up with about the forest, and people make those connections. But yeah, that's basically me. I am part of change because I believe that people need to become more deeply rooted with themselves first and foremost, and they need to spread that mycelial network around where they live and where they work, where they bloom. And I want to take you guys on that journey with me to just find out where it is that your mycelial roots need to go, because the world is a hurting place. And it's also such a beautiful place, and it's really important to me that we preserve what we have left. And we're never going to get back what we've cut down. We're never going to get back the beautiful, pristine waters that have already been poisoned and at the point of no return. But there's still hope. There's always hope. If I can touch one person with my story or my ideologies, I feel like that mycelial network is just going to grow more and more and more. And it's not about being a cool kid, or it's not about attention or any of those things, like Billy also says all the time. It's just about people helping people and getting out there and being the change. So I'm not going to talk anymore, because I think that was a hell of an introduction. You guys are probably like, whoa, that was a lot. But that's me in a nutshell. And I can't wait to work with all of you. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in this group. And I just can't wait to spread that mycelial network all around the world and just bloom where you're planted. So I want to help water your plants, and I want to help you be inspired, and I want to be inspired by you. So thanks for having me along the journey, and I can't wait to do some change. Peace out. Love y'all.